Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Dr. Markin Saikya's talk on foreign affairs. Today we are going to discuss a very current and important topic, that is Israel-Hamas War that started on October 7 and it is going on till date. This war between Israel and a militant group called Hamas has been shaking the whole West Asia. It's very important for all of us to know what are the main reasons behind this war. If we look at this entire crisis, what we find is that it is a kind of retaliation by the Hamas, the militant group of Palestine, for all atrocities that Israel is carrying out against the Palestinians over the years. Secondly, the Hamas said that international community must ask Israel to stop atrocities in Gaza, its people, and on holy places like Al-Aqsa Mosque. Thirdly, it wants all the Arab and Islamic nations to join the battle against Israel. Fourthly, the main purpose behind this attack by the Hamas is to put an end to the occupation of the historic land of Palestine by Israel. Fifth, the Hamas, the de facto authority that has been ruling the Gaza Strip since 2007, wants the international community to recognize it as a potential force. So this attack, alone has proved that what kind of capacity and strength the group has. Sixth, many international affairs experts speculate that Iran is behind the attack to encourage the Hamas to stall or to stop the current normalization of relations between Israel and Saudi Arabia. And finally, another very critical reason is a 16-year long blockade of Gaza by Israel and Egypt that has destroyed the economy of the enclave and has increased, hardships for a decent living in this particular area. I think these are some of the main causes that we see behind the surprise attack of the Hamas on southern Israel. Now, let's look at the war so far. What's happening? After the Hamas brutal attack over southern Israel and hostages taken by them, the defense minister of Israel, Yoav Gallant, has ordered a total siege of Gaza. He also ordered to cut off all the basic facilities to the enclave like fuel, food, electricity, and even water. Meanwhile, Egyptian government has refused the fleeing Palestinians to enter the Sinai Peninsula. So now they are stranded. They even cannot cross over to Egypt as well. However, Israel's order to ask nearly 1.1 million Palestinians to evacuate the North Gaza and shift to South Gaza within 24 hours is criticized by many, including the United Nations. The reason behind for such an evacuation is that a sudden evacuation might lead to a massive humanitarian crisis. That is where human rights agencies and the UN is mostly bothered. Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas is asking people, those who are living in the Gaza Strip, not to vacate their homes despite the warning from the Israeli government. To Mahmoud Abbas, this evacuation may lead to second Nakba or catastrophe that took place after the creation of the Israel in 1948. When the Israel state was created in 1948, first Nakba took place, right? And now he is fearing that if the Gazans have been removed or evacuated from the Gaza Strip, second Nakba or catastrophe will take place against the Palestinians in their homeland. At the same time, the Hamas is also asking the Gazans not to, Gazans to stay back, not to flee or vacate their homes. So the militant group or the radicals, they're also asking people to stay back. The main purpose of the evacuation is to clear the area for ground operation by the military of Israel, both to crush the Hamas and to rescue the hostages taken by them. Now, another big question looming large in front of us is that is Israel's siege of Gaza legal? Now, experts say that Israel's siege of Gaza is not illegal and it does not violate the law of armed conflict or existing international law. In fact, the very word siege is not adequately explained in international law. According to Chatham House, international law does not define sieges, but their essence is the isolation of enemy forces from reinforcements and supplies. Sieges generally consist of two elements: encirclement of an area for the purpose of isolating it and bombardment. The USA Today states that although the term of siege is not consistently defined under international law, generally speaking, it is understood as the act of encircling and isolating access to a population center to gain a military advantage through the effects of attrition and repeated assault, such as bombing campaign. However, Volker Turk, the human rights chief, said that Israel's total siege of the Gaza Strip is banned under international law. He said the imposition of sieges that endanger the lives of civilians by depriving them of goods essential for their survival is prohibited under international humanitarian law. But Article 27 of the Hague Conventions provide restrictions on siege warfare. It demands that the belligerents take all necessary steps to spare, as far as possible, edifices devoted to religion, art, science, charity, hospitals, and places where the sick and wounded are collected, provided they are not used at the same time for military purposes. Again, the Article 27 says that assailants must be notified such places with particular and visible signs before a siege starts. Now, what is the strategy of the Hamas at the moment to fight the Israeli government? For long, the Hamas are known for using civilians as human shields. It generally places military targets in and around residential and commercial centers so as to put the blame on the enemies in case of any serious damage or casualties. But the use of human shield is a war crime. According to a NATO report of 2009, the practice of using human shield is a regular practice of the violent extremists operating in the Gaza Strip. So it has been noted by the North Atlantic Treaty Organization's this report published in 2019. Now, when the Israeli government is asking the civilians to vacate the northern Gaza, the Hamas are asking them to stay back, indicating that civilians might be used as a shield or protection to deter its adversaries. Further, the primary objective of the Hamas is to destroy the state of Israel and to murder the Jewish people, as the US President Joe Biden mentioned in his statement after the war started, last week. Now, what Israel is doing at the moment in Gaza? For now, Israel is focused on releasing all the hostages from the Hamas. But can Israel use starvation as tactic to fight the Hamas? As per Article 54, Clause 1 of the 1977 Additional Protocol 1, Article 14 of the 1977 Additional Protocol 2, and Article 8, Clause 2b, 25 of the 1998 ICC Statute all prohibits starving civilians as a method of war. That means Israel cannot starve the civilians while fighting the Hamas. Currently, Israel is fully cutting off the supplies of food and water to Gaza. That means it is blocking all the basic necessities to the people, those who are living in northern Gaza. But the America says that it is permissible to seek to starve enemy forces into submission. It also says that such starvation may lead to incidental starvation of the civilians. That means, finally, Israel is not targeting the civilians in Gaza, and its main purpose is to hit the Hamas. It's a war, so both sides, whether the Hamas or Israel, will be justifying whatever they are doing. That is what is happening. Truly speaking, in such conflicts, the innocent civilians, women, children, old and sick always suffer. So, the point here is not to justify any war or conflict. All such actions must be condemned, and global governance institutions like the UN must do everything to prevent such tragedies at the earliest. So friends, it is an ongoing conflict. Many more things are going to happen in such chaotic situations. I'll be bringing you all the latest updates in my channel. Thank you for watching me. Kindly watch my other two channels as well. Dr. Mark Psychia's talk on national affairs and political science by Dr. Markin. Thank you once again. Bye-bye.